Yo guys, it's Casey. Thank you so much for watching AM Hoops during the off season. I know there's not a lot of news going on. And so instead of making like some video that's gonna get hundreds of thousands of views or whatever, I figured I would just make a video for you guys, just for the core AM Hoops audience that just you guys are gonna watch. And so I posted on the community tab, does anyone have a question? And we'll do a Q&A. So let's go. First one is from Simon. He says, how was your wrist? I actually didn't break it. It turns out I just sprained it skateboarding.
So much pain.
Second, why is everyone sleeping on the Heat? They have an amazing roster, better than 2020. I think that people aren't necessarily sleeping on the Heat. I think that people are burned by how bad they were in the first round last year, and also the fact that to win a championship, you have to get out of your conference, and that they're maybe the third best team in their own conference. So I think we all think Nets are number one in the East, and then most people have the Bucks right under that. At the end of each of their careers, who will have a better one? Kyrie Irving or Jason Tatum? That's from Sumer. I mean, if you think like, who would I rather take to build my team around, it would be Tatum. But think about Kyrie's career. Best handles of his generation. He could score on anybody. Will win at least one championship, obviously, with the Cavaliers. And he played a huge role in that because he hit the biggest shot in Game 7. But also, I think he's probably going to win at least one more in Brooklyn. So unless he leaves somewhere and wins at least one ring, how could you possibly have the answer be Jason Tatum? Rafa, he says, do you think Luka will ever win a ring? If yes, when, and how do you think it will happen? You know, I think that what we've seen is that players have to be willing to leave their home team, the team that drafted them. And I think that Luka will have to leave the Dallas Mavericks to win a ring. Unless Kristaps Porzingis bounces back big time, unless they can build a super team around Luka in Dallas, I don't see him pulling off a Dirk Nowitzki, because the whole super team thing that we see now was a lot less prevalent back in 2011. And so I think now Luka has to contend with a different NBA than Dirk had to contend with in 2011. Next up, VA19. If you had to make a team of your favorite players at each position, who would make it? Let's start at center. Let's go Bill Russell, because of his leadership, his defense, the fact that he was the ultimate winner. Did you know that the Celtics back in Bill Russell's day won an 8-peat? An 8-peat. At the 4, I think Tim Duncan's the greatest power forward of all time, but you couldn't really have TD and Bill Russell next to each other. I just feel like that would create a logjam in the paint. So my 4 is Kevin Durant, my 3 is LeBron James, my 2 is Michael Jordan, and my 1 is Stephen Curry. I know that he doesn't have elite defense, but the fact that he stretches the floor so much for all those other guys means a lot. Who are your top 5 players in the NBA right now? And who is your dark horse championship contender from Noel? They're all going to be two-way players. So it's going to be LeBron James, it's going to be Kawhi Leonard, it's going to be Luka Doncic, so I lied. He's not a two-way player. It's going to be Giannis Antetokounmpo and Kevin Durant. Those are my 5. Who's my dark horse to win? Dallas Mavericks. Ben, do you think Giannis will ever win another ring? I don't, Ben. The only reason those two teams made the finals was because of the injuries. We know that. We have never seen so many superstar injuries in one postseason. And we never, in a normal season, would have had the Bucks or the Suns in the finals. It's just not a reality. It isn't. I'm so sorry. There would have to be a gigantic roster changing move or moves that would get those two guys back in the finals again, and then for them to win it. Or there would have to be another season with that many injuries, which we've never seen before. So I don't think it's going to happen. Nani, what made you decide to do YouTube? Who's your favorite NBA player? I think my favorite NBA player right now is Kawhi Leonard. I like that he's a two-way player. I mean, he reminds me of like Michael or Kobe Bryant. Just the way that his mid-range game is on point. But he still has some of the modern elements to his game, like shooting threes. And then I also like how Kawhi handles his business. I like how none of us know anything about what he's thinking until the move happens. I love that. I love being understated like that, humble like that. That's my kind of player. And then why did I decide to do YouTube? I worked at CBS Sports, and after my contract was up, they replaced me with someone else, which obviously was devastating, right? And so while I was looking for another job, the thing is that in local TV, you know, I had to live in these smaller towns and kind of work my way up the ladder. So I went from really small towns covering high school football to, you know, San Antonio, which is like a medium-sized town covering pro sports. But I really didn't want to go back to that grind again. And unless I was going to get another national job at like ESPN, which, let's be honest, wasn't going to happen, then I just thought, okay, well, while I figure out my life, I'll start a YouTube channel. And it caught traction almost immediately. And then I started to get paychecks from YouTube, from Google. And it was like, oh my gosh, I could probably do this. I could just do this. And this is what I love anyway. And so, you know, ever since then, it's worked out. So I feel extremely grateful. Jimmy, do you think Scotty Barnes is a bust? No! Heck no! Of course not. The Raptors should have taken Jalen Suggs. That doesn't mean Scotty Barnes is a bust. We have no idea what his rookie year is going to be like, let alone what his career is going to look like. The Kid McFly, do you play basketball? I don't. And I've been thinking about doing an in real life video, IRL, to show how bad I am at basketball. But I don't know if people would like that. Maybe it would just be like one of these videos where it's just us, like the core people who watch AM Hoops. Drizzle, favorite food? Ice cream. King T, how much money do you make? That is a gutsy question for you to ask, and I'm not going to answer it. But I will say it's not as much as you think. YouTubers don't make that much. In fact, I mean, yeah, the biggest YouTubers do, but that's the same in every single industry in the world. The biggest whatever does make a lot of money, and then most of the people don't. They make average money. So, but I will say a big factor of my paycheck every month is, did I have a video that popped? I've had videos that have done really well, and on those months, it's like, all right, I could get used to this every month. But it's just not, I mean, I don't know. I can't make a video that goes viral every month. I try, but, you know, it's just hard to do. So it depends. It varies month to month. Overall, it's good enough for me to not have to look for another job on TV. So I'm very happy. And I'm grateful for you guys. I hope you liked the Q&A video. Let me know if there's any other, like, just community type videos that we can make. I really appreciate it.